wonder what goes into designing the clothes that you wear or the avant-garde fashions you see on the runway, keep watching today's show because today we are so excited to be speaking with a woman that will give us a peek into the mysterious world of fashion. Hi, I'm Jen Maseda, your host of the show Woman2Woman Today, where we inspire women to reach their goals by learning from local women who are reaching theirs. Today, we are thrilled to have Nathalia JMag with us. Nathalia is a designer and lifestyle blogger who was a finalist on Project Runway Season 15, the season that just wrapped. Nathalia is a proud graduate of Framingham High School and Framingham State University, and she is definitely disrupting the fashion industry with her inspiring designs. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
It's amazing to be able to see you in person because I feel like I've been stalking you over Project Runway for the past episodes, and it's so much fun to have you live and in person, and you're even more beautiful than you are on television. So,
thank you so much. Thank you.
It's true. All right, so where do you find your fashion inspiration? And I really want to know how you got into fashion to begin with.
So my inspiration usually comes from different places. I'm really inspired by the colors of nature and like the colors of the universe, and I'm like really inspired by like nature and music, and most of all the people around me. I feel like those around, I get more inspired by like a feeling. So like the people around me, like my friends and my family, or even like people watching. I people watch a lot. So it's just that people inspire me as well.
Okay, so let's say you had this incredible vision of nature. How would you then incorporate that into a design? What do you do? What's your next step?
So from nature, I usually draw the colors of nature. So like, for example, my latest color palette for my In Bloom collection was inspired by the spring colors, but I chose to stay like in a pink range, pinks and purples. And another collection I made before that was inspired by a sunset. So it was a lot of different pinks, and there was a little bit of orange and blue in there. And then I guess green has always been a color that I gravitate towards, and that's like the main color of nature. So I would say definitely nature inspires me color-wise.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Did you always want to be a fashion designer?
No, I didn't always want to be a fashion designer. I actually have wanted to be a lot of different things. I changed my mind 5 times in college. I switched my major a total of 5 times.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was never really sure. Growing up, I wanted to be all kinds of things. I definitely like wanted to be a designer at some point, but then I changed my mind to something else. I always wanted to do something related to science because I was always really inspired by nature. Yeah. I always loved like learning about the earth and learning about, physics, but then I took chemistry and I was like, never mind, even though I love physics and biology. Yes. And then, so I went into Framingham State. I declared the major of business administration because I thought that was like the most broad. Sure. So I could like, when I got out, if I didn't know what I wanted to do, I could basically do anything. But then I took macroeconomics and I was like, never mind. So then I switched my major to biology because I was like, okay, I'll pursue science and see how that goes. And it was the hardest class I ever took. It was like, I liked it, but I was literally spending all my time studying and doing homework and reading my biology book. And I was like, I don't want to live this life for the next 4 years. And then if I continue to pursue science, I'm going to have to spend more time like this. And I wasn't like 100% invested. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I switched my major again. And this time I switched it to sociology. Okay. Because I was like, okay, I can help people. It's still kind of science related because I'm going to take some psychology classes. And but then I like started looking into the jobs I could get, and then I did a lot of research, and it turns out that when you're like working in psychology or in sociology, a lot of times you get like depression and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I don't want to be depressed. So then I switched my major to liberal arts because I already had taken so many different classes. So liberal arts encompassed everything, and I could just take any classes I wanted. So I was like, okay, I'll take some fashion classes to see how it goes. And when I took history of costume and I took a drawing class, and I was like, okay, I want to do this. This is fun. Yeah. But I still didn't know I wanted to be a designer. I was still like, because at Framingham State, it's fashion design and merchandising. Okay. So I was taking merchandising classes and design classes, and I still wasn't sure which way to go. Okay. But after realizing I had so many ideas, and I realized like, okay, like if I go the merchandising route, it would be more like business administration, which I didn't like. Yeah. So I was like, I'm just gonna do design. Okay. And then I started focusing on that. And then after, taking more classes, I was like, okay, this is definitely what I'm meant to do. Yeah. And so I literally invested all my time and energy, like even worse than when I was doing biology. I was spending way more time doing design stuff, but I loved it and I was having fun. And I was getting straight A's in all my classes because I really liked what I was doing. Yeah. So that's when I realized that's what I was meant to do, because it wasn't dreadful. Even though I wasn't sleeping and I was staying in the sewing lab until 6 a.m., I was still really happy with my life.
Something that you were passionate about.
Yeah, so
that's great.
So I knew for sure, but it took a lot of experimenting. So I say I figured out what I wanted to do by figuring out first what I didn't want to do.
I love that road. Yeah. I mean, you're fortunate that you had the opportunity to make all of those changes over time. Sometimes I'm jealous of somebody that right when they are in 5th grade, like my brother, he's like, I'm going to be a doctor, and then boom, all the way through. Yeah. And I'm sort of envious of that, but I'm also, I'm also, thank goodness that you had those opportunities to figure out what you didn't want to do, and you pushed forward into something that you are excellent at. You're such an incredible talent. Thank you. And an incredible person too. Your designs are amazing, and when we come back, we're going to take a short break. Nathalia is going to share some of the challenges that she's faced in becoming a designer and how she's overcome them. So keep watching. Welcome back. We're speaking with Nathalia JMag, our local celebrity designer and lifestyle blogger from season 15 of Project Runway. So we talked a bit about your path to fashion. Some of the things that you talk about in your blog are confidence and dealing with negativity, either from yourself or from others within the industry. How do you overcome that? What do you say to yourself and to others?
I think it's really important to believe in yourself, especially when, in a world like today. Like, I feel like there's more people rooting against you than for you. So it's really important for you to be like your number one fan, and for you to be like, your number one supporter. Like, you may not have like a lot of support from other people. Sometimes even people closest to you are not supporting you. But if you believe in yourself and you support yourself, then you can do anything. Even if, your priest or your mom told you couldn't do it. It's like you can do it if you believe in yourself.
I love that. And I almost feel like you have this fire inside of you. And if somebody, and this is actually the same with me, if somebody says, you know what, Nathalia, you can't do it. And if somebody says that same thing to me, you're not going to be able to do it. I feel as though if you have enough confidence in yourself, you're like, you know what? Now I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna I'm gonna do it 3 times better. Right. It almost fuels you sometimes.
Yeah, for the most part, exactly. It's really important to, instead of letting people's hatred like put you down, you use it as like a motivator. Like haters are my motivators. You know, you take this negative energy and you like turn it around into something positive, or like, for example, like you build a house with the bricks people throw at you. Good. So that's good. All the like negativity, you can turn it around into something positive, and in the end, it's just gonna help you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you were on Project 15, and we rooted for you all the way through. And our whole family watches that. Like you said, it's really a family show, and you have your favorites, and you were our favorite.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And there were some great designers on the show as well. We've been watching it for 15 seasons, so there's some amazing talent that has gone through it. Do you feel as though there's more negativity when you step into such a spotlight like that? There's more people that want things from you, or are, like me, wanting you to come on the show. I guess I just. But you know what I mean? Like now that you're a big star.
I think there's more a little bit more pressure in a way, because then like it's like people are watching you like, what's next? So like, okay, you were on Project Runway, what are you gonna do now with it? And like for me, it's like, you know, it's like a motivator as well, because I'm like, I wanna show people what I can do. I'm like, I don't wanna just be remembered for being on Project Runway. Like I wanna have an actual legacy with my brand and with myself. So for me, it's like, I'm just trying to work as much as possible and like put out as many collections as I possibly can. We just we wrapped filming last summer, and I've already created about 6 collections ever since. So I've been trying to push myself as much as possible. I also feel like there is like, of course, while I was on the show, there was like a lot of more attention on me, and I feel like I said, a lot of it was negative, because you like. A show like Project Runway is a competition, so you get put into like an uncomfortable situation where you don't know anyone, and they take away your support system. So you can't talk to your family, you can't talk to your friends. You're stuck in this place with people you never met before, and you get put in a room with 16 other people that have like big personalities like you, and that are not easy to get along with, because when you put a lot of people that have big personalities in one room, there's bound to be some sort of
Which is
blow
essentially,
up.
that's what they're looking for. They know the dynamics that are necessary in order to get the reaction that they want from it. And the questions that they ask, because I know that they do little clips of you like in a little room, they have everybody go and have a little conversation. I can imagine that those are leading questions that set you up for the comments that you make.
Totally.
Right.
Totally. I mean, like, I'm not taking anything back. If I said it, I meant it, because we were doing a competition, and I feel like when you're doing a competition, your competitive side comes out, and I feel like you're being yourself, but it's like a different kind of self, because you're I feel like it's just so different. It's not life. No. You're not in that situation in real life, so you're bound to act a little bit out of character. So like, I feel like for me, I just I let the negative emotions take over a little bit, and that's why I was a little nasty during my interviews sometimes.
I didn't think that you were nasty. I thought you were honest, and then I thought they're clipping it to make it look like you're somebody that you're not. But I felt like that with all of them, even Cornelius, even Jenny, and even Aaron too. Do you still stay in contact with them too?
I talk to everyone. We're all friends.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Yeah. You're designers that are aspiring to do the same thing. Why can't you mentor each other, and why can't they have that spin on the show?
Well, that's what I wanted from the show. Like, I went in there and everybody was like, I'm not here to make friends. But I was like, I want to be friends with everyone. Obviously, as the competition progressed, like, there was like personality clashes, but I do feel like the editing does make you look nastier than you are, because, for example, if I'm gonna give a negative critique, I always try to end it with something positive. So I'll be like, well, this was kind of ugly, but I really liked this part of it, and I feel like they would just put, that's ugly.
They would clip it.
Yeah, which, like I said, if I said it, I meant it, and and like, I already talked to like whoever I thought that like I had attacked, and like I said, we're all friends now. But at the time, it was definitely like a little bit. It was catty. Yeah. It was like shady cattiness, and it was like. I'm like, people don't behave like this all the time. No. Like, I know that all the other designers think like the same thing, like, oh, I was an asshole for no reason, or like, I acted like that, I don't know why, but it's because you get put in this different situation.
Right. When we come back, we are gonna talk a bit more about Project Runway, but also what's next for Nathalia, not in a pressure way, but just in how can we promote it, because we love her so much. We'll be right back. We're back with Nathalia JMag, and Nathalia, before we left, you were talking about Project Runway, and that people always ask you what's next. So here you go, because you are working on some exciting things, and we want to share that with our viewers. Absolutely. So what is next?
So right now, I have an up-and-coming show, March 25th, which is open to the public. We actually have tickets on sale right now. And it's going to be at this beautiful mansion in Worcester called the Bull Mansion. And I'm actually, I'm showcasing a brand new collection. I'm showcasing a menswear collection. And I actually have 5 other designers who are showcasing as well, including Cornelius from the show.
Oh, that's
so,
exciting.
Yeah, he's showcasing his fall collection. And then I have Cosmic Unicorns, who's a local designer, female designer. Actually, they're all female designers except for Cor. And so Cosmic Unicorns, Uma Loam, and Vijada Michelle, and Kay Patricia. And so I chose that. I curated the designers. I'm actually producing the show myself.
Oh, congratulations.
I am getting some help from my husband and his company, Visual Media.
Okay.
But it is my first show that
exciting.
I produce, so I'm really excited for it. And I didn't want it to just be me, so that's why I'm showcasing other 5 very talented people that I love what they do. I love their aesthetics and what they stand for. So I'm really excited to give them a platform so more people can see the amazing stuff that they're doing.
That's great. That's what this show's all about. It's about women supporting women. So fantastic.
So yeah, so like I want to help, other people that I believe in and other women. I want to inspire everyone, but of course, like, given the current situation, I want to inspire women. And actually, I think you'd be really happy to hear that my In Bloom collection was inspired by women. Okay. So it was the colors were inspired by the spring, but all the silhouettes and everything that I did for it was inspired by femininity and by women, because I wanted to, highlight that. I usually draw inspiration from menswear because menswear has it's really clean and not all the like bells and whistles of women's wear. But for this collection, I wanted it to be really special because I'm dedicating it to women. So it's very feminine. I use a lot of lace and a lot of big flouncy silhouettes and like baby doll styles, just the girliest collection I've ever done.
Yeah,
so.
We saw some pictures of it, and it's really beautiful with the applique on the front of, it looks like flowers, and it's just beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So you mentioned 2 things that are interesting that I didn't know. One was that you're developing this menswear line as well, and that you find inspiration from men's lines. And I can see that now, especially with the plastic that you've used. Some of the materials that you've used have been a little more boxy and a little less with those feminine lines.
Right.
So that's really interesting.
So ever since I started designing, I do draw inspiration from menswear because I'm like the girl that wants to dress like the boys. So I would try to channel that. So I just always was drawn to menswear, and I was always when I started designing, I'm like, I want to draw inspiration from this because like most designers are like really out there with the girly stuff. So I was like, I'll do something more like on between the edge, like between menswear and women's wear. But then now that I've done a lot more collections and I'm getting to know myself more as a designer, I'm realizing that it doesn't have to be in the middle. Like I can, design menswear and design women's wear. Right. And then the cool thing about menswear is that it's more, it's less intimidating for a woman to wear it. So like, whereas like obviously a man's not gonna wear women's wear, but women do wear menswear.
Absolutely.
So like my menswear collection is still for women as well. Yeah. It's more androgynous.
Oh, okay.
Than anything. So
it's so interesting.
It's still gonna be wearable by females, and all my models are females for the fashion show. So I'm showcasing my menswear collection
with
on
women.
females.
I love
models.
that.
Yeah,
that is so great. So you are bringing women along with you on this journey. How do you think you are celebrating and inspiring women that are not within the fashion industry with your clothing, essentially?
I just want to inspire women to be themselves and do what they love, no matter what it is, whether it's fashion related or not, or whether you look like me or not, or we come from the same place. It doesn't matter. Like, I just want people to be authentically themselves, and I want to inspire women to be themselves, whoever they may be, by me being myself. So I think if I'm myself and I show people like, I do all these things that are different and weird and like not everybody can relate, then other people that feel that way, I might give them permission to like, just be themselves, even if they might be called weird or geeky or whatever negative word they may be called. If that's who you are and like that's what you love to do, then you should do it, no matter what people say or the naysayers.
Yeah, good message. Good message. Thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. It's been such a pleasure to see you in person and to hear really how you draw from nature and from different genders. And make such talented designs and talented garments, and we're really grateful for your time. So,
thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you also for sharing your journey and inspiring all of us. Please remember to follow, like, and subscribe to Woman2Woman Today on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube so you don't miss a show. Thanks to the entire team at Access Framingham, especially Shavarsh Morrissey and Francesca Cerruti Harris. Thanks also to Jess Friswell, our assistant producer. I'm Jen Maseda, your host of Woman2Woman Today. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time, where we hope to inspire you. And also, happy birthday, Woman2Woman Today! Woo!